Today in this video we will learn about what is composition, its definition, types and examples. What is composition? In the literary sense, a composition from the Latin word to put together is the way a writer assembles words and sentences to create a coherent and meaningful work. Composition can also mean the activity of writing, the nature of subject of a piece of writing, the piece of writing itself, and the name of a college course assigned to the student. This essay focuses on practicing how people write. Composition definition: just like a musician, an artist, a writer sets the tone of a composition to his or her purpose, making a decision about what the tone should be to from a structure. A writer might express anything from the point of view of cool logic to impassionate anger. A composition might use clean and simple prose, flowery, descriptive message, and or analytical monoculture. Since the 19th century, English writers and teachers have been grappling with ways to classify forms and modes of writing so beginner writers can have a place to start. After decades of struggles, rhetoricals ended upon the four categories of writing that still make up the mainstream of composition: 101 college classes, description, narration, composition, and argumentation. Here we will discuss the types of composition writing. The four classical types of composition: description, narration, exposition, and argumentation, are not categories prees. They would also almost never stand alone in a piece of writing, but rather are best considered modes of writing, piece of writing, styles that can be combined and used to create a whole. That is to say, they can inform a piece of writing and they are a good starting point of understanding how to put a piece of writing together. Example of each of the following composition types and based on the American poet Stein's famous quote from Scared Emily, her 1913 poem, "A rose is a rose is a rose." Description: a description is a descriptive writing is a statement or account that describes something or someone, listing characteristic features and significant details to provide a reader with a portrayal in words. Descriptions are set in the concrete in the reality or solitary of a subject or as a representation of a person, place, or thing in time. They provide the look and feel of objects or simultaneous whole with as many details as you would like. Number second is narration. A narration or narrative writing is a personal account, a story that the writer tells his or her reader. It can be an account of series of facts or events given in order and establishing connections between the steps. It can be even the dramatic, in which case you can present each individual scene with actions and dialogue. The chronology could be in strict order or you could include flashbacks. Number third is exposition. Exposition or expository writing is the act of expounding or explaining a person, place, thing, or event. Your purpose is not to just describe something, but to give it a reality and an interpretation, your ideas on what that things mean. In some respects, you are laying out a preposition to explain a general notion or abstract idea of your subject. Argumentation, also called argumentative writing or argumentation, is basically an exercise in comparing and contrasting. It is methodological representation of both sides of an argument using logical or formal reasoning. The end result is formulated to persuade by things A is better than thing B. What you mean by better makes up the content of your argument. Next, the value of composition. A great deal of debate enlivened college theoretical later in the 1970s and 1980, which scholars attempted to throw off and what they saw were the confining structures of these four writing styles, despite that they remain the mainstay of some college composition classes. What these four classical modes do is provide beginner writers to a way to purposefully direct their writings, a structure on which to form an idea. However, they can also be limiting. Use the traditional modes of composition as tool to gain practice and direction in your writing, but remember that they should be considered a starting point rather than the rigid requirements. So here is end of our topic. Thanks for your listening and understanding.